right, all right. Stay in the right place at the right time.
Yes,
Because temptation is real, though.
it is.
Especially if you're not strong.
Right.
You can be lured away into situations and relationships and to things that you didn't have intentions of going into.
Yes, that's true. And I just think and praise God for the mindset, a strong mindset, sometimes I would wonder, when I talk to different people and they say they're struggling with that issue, and I thought something was wrong with me because I didn't struggle in that area. And the Lord said, no, it's nothing wrong with you. You're not weak in that area. That's not one of your weakness, so that's
How important it is to know your weaknesses, to know those things that will weaken you, you know, such as a desire for something, or sometimes we can have a weakness even in our health. The Lord said, I want you eating that, and you go ahead and eat it anyhow.
yes. So I think what it is, we mostly have to tell the Lord to help us in our weak areas where we're weak at, just as like the Lord, He'll make us strong in those areas that we are weak in. But the thing about it, we have to be obedient, and obey, instead of, but we'll still, be fighting it because it all depends on how strong that particular thing is in you with eating something or doing something that, being tempted. So it's all depending on how strong it is. And if it's a strong thing in you, then you need to resort to fasting and praying and tell the Lord to help you with that thing, because it can get to a struggle, for you if you're not strong enough in that area, and just tell the Lord to strengthen you in that area.
Right, especially if it is a stronghold. Some things you can get rid of easily, but some things become a stronghold that is hard to get rid of. Say, for instance, if you get involved in a soul tie, and you feel like you're tied to this person, it's hard for you to get away from this person, especially when sex is involved.
Yes, I think you have to really cry out to the Lord on that situation, and go, somewhere where they can get you delivered from that thing, because I do know, from talking to different people that they struggle with that, but you just have to get delivered from it, go somewhere where, they're operating in the miracle signs and wonders, and they can get you delivered at that time. And, but you can do self-deliverance and, just by crying out to God and constantly praying and fasting and telling Him, Lord, I need your help. I can't do this. We have to be honest with God about what we can and cannot do. And we cannot be in denial about we got a problem or a situation. Sometimes we know we have these issues, but we want to be in denial about it. We don't want to accept the fact that I'm struggling with this, and especially when we're saints, because we feel like, okay, I'm supposed to be a saint. I'm not supposed to have these struggles like this. But if we didn't get delivered, we will struggle with that thing, whatever we didn't get delivered from. Sometimes we get saved, but we don't get delivered from everything. And so because we don't, then we don't want people to look at us as if we have a weakness, or I'm not who I say I am because I'm not delivered. But it's nothing wrong with you being delivered, because once you get delivered from that issue, then you can go on and be, just powerful, a powerful man or woman of God, because you have gotten delivered from that certain situation.
That is so true. And my bishop was speaking of pride on Sunday. Sometimes there's so much pride. All of us have a level of pride, but then sometimes there's a bad kind of pride where you don't want nobody to know you're in this situation. You're struggling with it. You're ashamed of it. You're ashamed to go to someone to ask for help. Rather than doing that, you just kind of stay there and kind of struggle with it. And sometimes it's harder. Well, really, all the time it's harder when you're trying to handle it by yourself when there is help. Someone else can help you. But because of pride, people don't get the help that they need.
And also, not only pride, but sometimes we can look at, you have to know who to go to for help, because some of us, it's sad to say, that we're just broadcast that person's, issue all over the place instead of helping them. We much rather want to talk about them and not help them. Do we'll go to someone. Do you know she or he struggling with this? I didn't think that they would like that. My God, and all of that. So you have to really be careful to who you go to and who you share things with. And you have to just go into prayer about that. Lord, who shall I share this with? You have to share it with someone that's concerned about your deliverance, concerned about you, that love you and want to see the best for you and want to see you manifesting the things of God. But, so many times we want to talk about a person, because they're not. And I don't, I think that we have lost our compassion for people. And just like God was merciful towards us and was gracious towards us, we don't have that same compassion and love and grace for others. We just want to talk about them, but we don't want to. But no,
not everybody. Now you're talking about an immature son.
Right, immature.
You don't go to anybody that's
right.
Don't have what you need. Sometimes people go to the wrong individual because they are not mature enough.
Right.
To deal with what you are dealing with. You need to discern and know the wisdom of somebody that's out there that can help you.
Yes.
Now you're talking about somebody that's immature.
Yeah.
But everybody is not immature.
No, everyone is not. They're not. Yes, they're not immature. Everyone is not. So you have to make sure that the one that you're dealing with is mature.
Mature enough to speak into your situation. They've dealt with certain issues. They have the wisdom of God to deal with it. You just have to be discerning. Sometimes it's a lack of credibility on our side because we don't take the time to discern who we need to go to, and then we get in trouble by going to the wrong individuals.
Yes, we will.
All right, my sister, what question you got for us today, or do you have any comments about what we were just talking about?
Yeah, I can agree with you. Be careful in any aspect of life who you tell your business to, especially your personal business. You can take it and use it against you. It can be used against you.
Oh yeah, don't open up your. That's open up a can of worms, and they don't have your best interest in mind. Even your mate, you some things you can't tell your mate because they'll come back on you. I remember you did this. I remember you did that.
Yes.
So you have to be careful in situations like that, especially if it's going to come back to haunt you.
Right. It is not only your mate either, because you have some people that, like you say, you may have shared something with them, and then when they're upset about something, or just say that you don't agree with something that they said or done, then they'll come back. Well, so and 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 so, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Oh wow. So yeah, be led. And Joseph told his dreams to his brothers before time. He told it before time, and he got in trouble because of his dream.
Yes.
So you can't tell it to immature people that don't know what to do with the information.
Right.
Now there are some people that can help you and encourage you and help you go to the next level. But if it's not going to take you to the next level, rather than taking you to the next level, it's going to bring you down, then whose fault is that? That's the individual's fault.
Right.
It's not the people's fault because we went to the wrong people. That was our fault.
And sometimes we, like you said, we got to be able to discern, because I know lots of people that I talk with, They have gone to other people and shared their most deepest things and most sacred things to them. And they were judged, and the people judged them, you know. And like you said, they're not mature saints, but you think because sometimes we think because they have certain positions, certain titles, that that you're mature, but you cannot be mature. I don't care what title you have, you still can have a lack of maturity in some areas. And so these people are saying, but they shared something, and now they're being judged. Even things in their past that they have made become delivered. They have gotten delivered, but these, the immature saints are still holding it against them. Like this person is still walking in this particular thing and they're not. And they're being judged. And even in your past, even if you wasn't delivered in your earlier walk with the Lord, sometimes people still hold that against you, because they're looking at, well, I knew a time that he or she was doing this or that, but they're not looking at, okay, this person has gotten delivered. But because you had this information on them, then you didn't take it to heart, to do what you were supposed to do because your immaturity.
Right, and that person has grown to another level. You're
Yes.
still judging them at that level that they did something, they have overcome that and went on. So that's part of life. So be careful who you share your information with. All right, Elder Dolores, what you got for us today?
Okay. This is our first question. When Elijah and his men come to the water was bitter. What did God tell Elijah to throw into the water to make it sweet?
All right, radio listeners, you heard the question. If you desire to respond to that question, the number to call is 662-328-1052 or 662-328-1050. That's 662-328-1052. What did Elijah throw into the water to turn the water from bitter to sweet? What did he throw into the water to make the water sweet, to take out the bitterness? You know the answer? 662-328-1052 or 662-328-9227. And don't forget, we're collecting these Bible trivia questions for our Christmas giveaway that we're going to have in Christmas, at Christmas time, around Christmas time. It'll actually be before Christmas time that we give away our trivia baskets. So if you know the answer to that particular question, 662-328-1052 or 662-328-1050. What did Elijah throw into the water to turn it from bitter to sweet? So if you know the answer, give us a call today. I read that passage. Now, I think I know the answer, but I'm not going to mess with that. 662-328-1052. All right, you got a history question you want to put along with that out there, a history question?
It's kind of like a history course, just it's biblical and history. It said, who was the first person to go to heaven alive?
Okay. Who was the first person to go to
heaven?
Go to
heaven alive. Not dead, alive.
Uh-huh. Who was the first person to go to heaven alive? Sister Martha, do you know the answer to that one?
I believe that was Enoch.
Was that Enoch? Was that Enoch?
Yeah, it was Enoch. Yeah.
Okay. Sister Martha answered that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Write her name down.
Okay. But we got a lot of things going on, and they are still putting emphasis on this drug fentanyl. They had another segment on it last night on the news about how it's really hurting people. Some people are dying from it. It's a very, very strong drug. And during this time of Halloween, you might have your children going out doing trick or treat, and who knows what have been put into that candy or those tricks or treats that they're passing out. So be careful how you allow your children to go out and do trick or treating, because I don't celebrate Halloween. I don't, and don't try to boo me down just because I don't. I just don't celebrate it because of the history behind it. You see a lot of skulls and dead faces. When you see skulls and different things, you think of death. Jesus came to give us life. What do you think about Halloween, celebrating Halloween?
Well, I think that is a demonic holiday, and because we're not educated about it, then we feel there's nothing wrong with it. But if you, like you said, if you check the history behind it, then you will see that it's just all demonic and satanic. It's just about war, anything that you're celebrating, witches and warlocks and things of that nature, and the dead, that's not of God.
Well, some people might say it's just something we do. It's harmless for us to dress up as monsters and go out and portray monsters and witches and stuff like that. They might just say it's just harmless. It's just something we do.
Well, it's like I stated before, that's because you're ignorant to the things that, where it came from, and how you celebrating it is a demonic force.
Let me grab this call. We'll come back to that portion. WTWG.
Yes.
Okay, turn your radio down, son. Okay. It's still up a little bit. I'm getting some feedback from it. Okay, what was your comment?
Salt was used to turn the water sweet.
What was it?
Salt. SALT, salt.
It was salt. Okay, let me let her respond to that, okay? Hold on, okay? Okay, she said it was salt that was used to turn the bitter water to sweet.
She's correct. She's correct.
Okay. I thought it was a herb.
No, it was salt.
Oh, wow. I was wrong on that one. Okay, let me get her name. Okay, give me your name, sweetheart.
Miss Jones, Audrey Jones.
Okay, Mrs. Jones. All right, Mrs. Jones, we appreciate you for calling in and responding to that question.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Hey, I was thinking it was a herb. I'm glad she straightened us out.
Yes.
All right. Give us another history question too. You got any history questions?
This is a history question. It says the Catholics called this person in the Bible the Queen of Heaven. Who do they call the Queen of Heaven?
So the Catholics call this person
the Queen of Heaven.
Is it found in the Bible though? It's just something that they have done.
It's you said history. You didn't say biblical.
Okay. All right. The Catholic call this person the Queen of Heaven. Who is it? 662-328-1052. And if you guess and it's wrong, hey, don't be ashamed. I'll be guessing on that one.
Me too.
Who did the Catholic call the Queen of Heaven? 662-328-1052. We're going to take a break right here, and we will be back. We want you to stay tuned for more to come. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Feel a real long time, so sing sunshine in the darkest skies. Feel the way you try. I sit back and enjoy the ride. When I tried it my way, it was all wrong. All the brains that I had, they were long gone. Be the best that I could. Try to be strong. Not about letting go. All right, radio listeners, we're back. Who is the Queen of Heaven, according to the Catholic faith? Who is considered the Queen of Heaven, according to the Catholic faith? 662-328-1052 or 662-328-1050. Who is considered the Queen of Heaven by the Catholics? You know the answer? Give us a call today. Your name will be in there for the Bible trivia baskets that we're going to give away at Christmas time. And Christmas time is a beautiful time. Everybody don't celebrate it. Hey, if we don't celebrate Christ's birth, why don't we celebrate our own? Just a thought there. Just a thought. We're going to put our birthdays before his. Some people say, I don't celebrate Christmas. That's to each his own. But I celebrate him. He's worthy to be celebrated.
Yes.
Just reflecting on what he has done. It's good just to reflect upon him.
Amen.
So good morning to you, radio listeners. We're talking about some things today. You know, this weather has changed too. And it behooves us to dress according to the weather. You know, sometimes you can feel hot and you don't want to. Let me grab this call right quick. WTWG.
Good morning, Miss Earnestine. How's you guys this morning?
We're doing well. You?
We're just fine. Isn't that what they call the Virgin Mary, the Queen of Heaven?
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm gonna let her answer that. I thought it was the Virgin Mary, the Queen of Heaven, but let her respond to that. Okay, hold on. Okay, is that the correct answer?
She's absolutely correct. That's what the Catholics call the Queen of Heaven.
Okay, all right, that's absolutely correct.
Absolutely. My baby girl went to Catholic school. Talk to you guys later.
All right, then. Thank you for responding to that question. Thank you for
You're welcome.
All right. We're going to put Mrs. BJ name in there for our Bible trivia basket again. The Queen of Heaven is considered Mary, the mother of Jesus, according to the Catholic faith. All right. We're going to continue on. I was talking about dressing. You know, we got a lot of flu and different things going on, and we need to dress appropriately. You know, sometimes there is a certain wind in the air that's during the wintertime. It's not the same wind that is in the air during the summer. So if you feel hot, that don't mean you're supposed to pull off all your clothes because you can catch a cold. Now, if you did that in the summer, it wouldn't bother you because of the substance in the atmosphere. And when we are in a different season, it carries a different atmosphere. So we need to cover ourselves up good to not be exposed to the elements of the season, that we won't be getting sick and picking up everything that come along. You know,
Yes.
to dress appropriately.
Right. And if we remember, our grandparents and the elderly people would tell you back in the day, you know, it would be a little warm and you would, you know, have on short sleeves, and they would say, no, they said it's still December, still November, keep yourself covered. They said they don't care how warm the weather is, dress appropriately. And they were telling us then that, you know, you easily catch a cold or the flu, pneumonia, because you feel like the weather is warm. But like you said, it's a different kind of atmosphere and a different wind.
It is. It's a difference. Even though it's warm, it's a different uh, substance in the air. I remember a lot of preachers, when they come out of the pulpit, they have sweated. They'll put a coat on, even though it's warm in there.
Yes.
Because when you're sweating, you're opening up your cells, your pores are open.
Right.
And different things can come into your body because your pores are open. We have to be mindful of those types of things and to know how to take care of ourselves, know how to dress.
Yes.
Not go out in the wintertime, so cold out there and it's raining, we got our head exposed, and we wonder why we keep the sniffles all the time.
Yes.
Let me let Elder Dolores come in on that. Want to come in on that, Elder Dolores?
Well, all I can say, amen. Y'all right. We just have to do what we can to protect this body, especially when we getting up in age. You know, my husband, you know, he bowing.
Oh.
He was going to have to start putting on his head when he go to bed. So, yeah, it's very important to take care of yourself, especially when weather change. I guess most of us know that because most of us, our parents taught us that.
But we got a lot of young people that don't seem to notice that when it's shorts in the wintertime and it's cold. Some people, if they got a strong immune system, they might can take that. But some people that don't have a strong immune system just can't wear anything and be exposed to all the elements of the weather. They're saying that flu is on the rise, so we want to encourage our radio listeners to build yourself up, build your immune system up, that we won't catch everything, every little thing that comes around, because our immune system is properly built up. It won't pick up every little bug. Mm-hmm. So
You're right. Correct.
So that's important.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we look for all the medications and different things to take care of us after we have been exposed, but we need to be more proactive and not getting colds and different things by keeping ourselves built up, getting the proper rest, proper food, enjoying and having some laughter in life. Never get too serious that you cannot laugh. A merry heart does good like a medicine.
Yes.
Just being happy.
That's it. That's it. That's being happy. Like I tell people, you know, I said saints, you know, sometimes, and other people we walk around sucking on like we're sucking on a sour lemon or something. But they tell me